Before we start off today's video, if you guys would like to join the Discord server, link will be in the description below and there will also be in that pinned comment. If it's been 1 to 7 days, please use the latest video as that's the one where the links will be working. And of course, I'd love to have you on the channel as well, so make sure to subscribe with that bell on so you don't miss anything, and also like the videos as well. But anyway, let's get right into the video. What's up guys, welcome back to this channel. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, this is the Mk2 Kia Niro. Now when I say Kia Niro, unfortunately I don't mean Robert De Niro. And if you're familiar with that reference, which I'll play now.
Well, the script said we should see a trendy version of De Niro, so here I am.
It's not De Niro, like Robert De Niro. It's the Niro, the car.
Then, well, thumbs up to you. And if you didn't know, well, now you know. But yeah, this is, apparently it's an SUV according to some articles, so I've read. I don't see it, I see it more of an MPV, but anyhow, you know, it's not my decision to make. But anyway, this is a Kia and it's got, you know, it's an eco car basically, and we'll get to that in the performance section. But, I mean, there's not really much to say on that besides that it's the second generation. So let's get right into the review of the Robert De Niro. Alright, so when it comes to the exterior looks of Robert De Niro, the front, I'd say, like a lot of Kias nowadays, they definitely look much better and cooler than they did, give it 15-20 years ago. I mean, the lights are a nice design, as well as the grille as well. I'm not a fan of that little bit of the grille at the top, but you know, it's not the worst thing. But I do like how there's like a line that goes from the top of the lights through that bit of the grille and back to the other side, which is like a light bar sort of deal. It actually might be a light bar, but I'm not actually sure. If it is, it is. If it's not, it's not. Oh well. But then you've got the new Kia badge as well, which I think looks rather good. And the overall design, you know, it's a nice shape and it's not ugly per se. And something I would like to note is if you got the EV version, the full electric one, it does look like this, because obviously it doesn't need as much grille as, you know, one that has an engine inside of it, so it's covered up and it looks like that, but you still have a bit of grille at the bottom to cool the batteries down, etc. The side profile, well, I do like the side profile. It does look somewhat, not fully, somewhat similar to the first generation of the Robert De Niro. Something I don't like is that C-pillar. I don't know why it's a different colour like that. Some people might like it, but I personally don't. It's not a con or anything, but I'm just saying. And I think the overall design, you know, it looks good. It's got all the curves and the angles and all the straights that you need to make a car that looks alright. I mean, it's not designed to be a pretty car anyway, you know, it's not that kind of car. The rear, well, it is quite nice, like the previous generation I should say. There are lights at the bottom on the bumper. Obviously these are much bigger, but the previous one still had them. Then you got awesome looking light design that comes like this, like just like a little sort of semi-boomerang sort of shape, which is quite nice, I do have to say. Although it does kind of remind me of the facelifted Mk2. Don't ask me why. And when I first saw it, I said that myself when it was first introduced like 2 years ago. I said that myself. But I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I do like how, you know, in the actual boot itself, it goes up like this, and then that where the number plate's supposed to be with the Kia badge, you know, it's all nice, and it's like you got 4 different colours, you know, you got the blue roof, then you got, I know technically the window isn't a colour, but we'll just say it's a colour per se for this argument, and then you got blue again, but then it goes to black, and then it goes to a grey silver sort of colour. So it's definitely busy, but not too busy, which I like, really good. When it comes to the interior, well, it's a nice looking interior. Again, you got 2 big screens right in front of you, like a Mercedes and like the Hyundai Ioniq I said last week. So obviously you got your main information in front of you, and then you got infotainment next to you, and then you obviously got your normal controls and everything, and you kind of separated from the passenger again. It's sort of like leg level, but if it's a bit higher it'd be fully separated, but that's alright, it's not bad. And the overall design, you know, you've got curves on the other side of the dashboard where the passenger sits, It's like sort of a groove that's been taken out, and vent design, they all work as well. So what it does look like is where the gear controls are and all the heated seats and all that at the bottom, it does look gloss black, so that, you know, might be waiting to get scratched at some point or dusted or fingerprinted. Just keep your eye on that. Now, something I do like, which I find quite interesting, which I've never seen before, is the climate controls. Normally I complain if a climate control is within the screen, you have to do it yourself. Peugeot. But with this, you do have to do that, but you also don't, and I'll explain why. So here is the bottom bit. Now, as you can see, the top one shows like red and blue, and, you know, AC and where you want the fan, etc. And then the bottom one shows, you know, stereo infotainment screen controls. With the flick of a button, you can change between the two. So if you don't like to use the screen to change a climate, you press the button and then it's in there. But if you set it and you want to control the infotainment screen via those buttons, you press the button and then that's all. It's perfect. It's great, because there are some people who might want to do the screen and some people who might not. And that I really like. I think that's definitely something manufacturers should do, and you know what, that's probably one of the best interior features I've seen in a car in a long time, frankly, in a modern car at least. Right, when it comes to the performance, they are, like I said at the beginning, it's an eco car, so there's 3 things to go for, and so I'll be reviewing all those 3. So the first one is just a normal self-charging hybrid. So this has a 1.6 litre inline 4-cylinder, and it has, you know, that little hybrid electric stuff. Total 137 horsepower, 140 give or take, and 195 pound-feet of torque. It is front-wheel drive and it weighs nearly 1500 kilograms, give or take, like I said. Gearbox is not a CVT, hallelujah, thank God for that. But that's a personal thing. I'm not saying it's bad, just a personal thing, I don't like it. 6-speed automatic with dual clutches. And dual clutches in a car like this, didn't think it needed, but you know, it's there, we'll take it. 0 to 60 is 10.5 seconds, and the top speed is 102 miles an hour. Now the next one you can get is a plug-in hybrid version. Now this one also uses the same gearbox and the same engine, but the batteries and motors are a bit different. So this one has the same engine, like I said, but this one has 177 horsepower, 180 thereabouts, or more powerful. Same torque as well, and front wheel drive again, but it's a bit more than 100 kilograms heavier at nearly 1600 kilograms, same gearbox, etc. Now 0 to 60 is 9.5 seconds. Now top speed confused me. I was like, some say 100, some say 104. I was like, which is it? So I put both with question marks in it. That way neither is wrong. That way it's there. So you can't really complain about that. But either way, that's the top speed. And then the next one is the fully electric one. This is the last option you can get. So it comes with a 64.8 kilowatt hour battery, technically 65 in my mind, with the battery and the motor. So altogether roughly 200 horsepower and nearly 190 pound-feet of torque, front wheel drive again. As it's an electric car with all the batteries and the motor, it does weigh quite a lot at 1739 kilograms, and because there's no actual gearbox, it's just normal automatic. 0 to 60 is 7.6 seconds, because electric cars are very good at getting to 60, and top speed is 103 miles an hour. So your usual electric car, you know, having somewhat of a lower top speed, but that's all right. You know, there's nothing completely wrong with it. You know, these specs are fine. When it comes to the practicality, bear with me please, because this is a lot of information to take in. So you'll see lots of figures there, so let me explain. So as you can see, there's 3 figures, but then there's 3 words above. So the EV, the fully electric one, has a boot of 475 litres big, and that is gigantic, really. That is really good by standards, so that's one good point. The normal hybrid version has 451 litres. Now it's smaller, but it's still average, so that's completely fine as well. I have no problem with that. However, the plug-in hybrid electric one has the batteries underneath the floor, a lot of them. That's why it's dropped to 358 litres, which is not that great, to be honest, so do be wary of that. And if you get the fully EV one, you get a 20 litre fruit or frunk in the front. Great, rhyming. So EV will definitely be the best on the boot completely, and the hybrid is just, you know, it's alright, you know, you can't really complain, but you don't get that frunk. But the plug-in hybrid, not great, but, you know, it's expected. The rear seats, well, where do I start? It's great. Legroom was brilliant. Headroom was also brilliant. What else do I say? So if you're, I don't know, I guess I'll say this. If you're tall, over 6 foot, you should be fine by any standards, frankly. So well done on Kia for, you know, making back seats this good, because you know it's a somewhat wide car. It's, you know, long-ish and it's quite tall-ish, so you know it's good for rear passengers, definitely. When it comes to the handling and the comfort, well, let's start with the comfort. It was reasonably comfortable. You know, this is not a sports car, so ride for the passengers would be alright. However, the weight of the EV version would kind of make it fidget slightly, kind of like I said in the Ioniq video last week. However, it wasn't uncomfortable, but you would feel the fidgeting going around because of that weight. But you know, it's not bad, you can't complain. And I haven't been in this EV, I don't know, actually, I've been in a Mk2 Niro like this as an Uber. I don't know if it was the EV or hybrid or whatever it was, but I found the ride alright, and I live in London, so, you know, I actually have experience in this. When it comes to the actual handling of the car itself, obviously, like I said, it's no sports car. However, when you went into a corner, you could reach its limits easily, but when you were there, it wasn't hard to get it back to where you need to be, and it wasn't dangerous to be there. However, steering, yes, you could feel it, but it didn't really talk to you, if you get what I mean with that. And the body lean was there somewhat as well, because obviously you got the softer suspension, so that obviously does not ruin, but kind of not emphasize the handling sort of side of it, really. And it was, you know, it was plain enough round the corners for the average driver, so it is to be expected that a car like this isn't going to handle well, but you know, it'll handle well enough for your everyday needs, and comfort is alright. Even the EV, you feel the fidgeting, but you won't truly be uncomfortable as, I don't know, sitting on some stones, or I don't know, sitting on some metal or whatever. Is there anything else worth noting? Well, I unfortunately don't have anything to say about Robert De Niro, besides the fact that I don't remember seeing this Robert De Niro in any films. So it's a good question on that one. But anyway, what is the verdict? Well, the pros are, it has good rear headroom, good rear legroom as well. EV boot space is very good, and the normal hybrid one is just average, so that's fine, completely okay with me. The exterior looks nice as well, and it has a nice ride. And it also has a nice looking interior. However, the cons are, the plug-in hybrid boot space is small, the EV, get away fly, the EV ride is a bit fidgety, but it's not, you know, terribly uncomfortable, but you will feel it. And handling is not great, but that's to be expected. But you know, I'm just saying, it's what to expect. But yeah, that does conclude my review of the Kia, this concludes my review of Robert De Niro. If you want me to review a car, then you can let me know in the comments below, and even on the Discord server, because there's a section just for that. And you know, if it's all good, I will review the car for you, depending on if I've got other cars before or if not. And yep, that's really the end of the video. So don't forget about the subscribing and all the links in the description below, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Peace.